Today on D&D Academia, we discuss the rough and tumble class known as the Fighter. You can find the Fighter and additional information for it in the Player's Handbook and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. A human in clanging plate armor holds her shield before her as she runs towards the masked goblins. An elf behind her, clad in studded leather armor, peppers the goblins with arrows loosed from his exquisite bow. The half-orc nearby shouts orders, helping the two combatants coordinate their assault to the best advantage. A dwarf in chainmail interposes his shield between the ogre's club and his companion, knocking the deadly blow aside. His companion, a half-elf in scale armor, swings two scimitars in a blinding whirl as she circles the ogre looking for a blind spot in its defenses. A gladiator fights for sport in an arena, a master with his trident and net, skilled at toppling foes and moving them around for the crowd's delight. His opponent's sword flares with blue light an instant before she sends lightning flashing forth to smite him. All of these heroes are fighters, perhaps the most diverse class of characters in the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons. Questing knights conquering overlords, royal champions, elite foot soldiers, hardened mercenaries, and bandit kings as fighters. They all share an unparalleled mastery with weapons and armor, and a thorough knowledge of the skills of combat. And they are well acquainted with death, both meeting it out and staring it defiantly in the face. Fighters learn the basics of all combat styles. Every fighter can swing an axe, fence with a rapier, wield a long sword or greatsword, use a bow, and even trap foes in a net with some degree of skill. Likewise, a fighter is adept with shields and every form of armor. Beyond that basic degree of familiarity, each fighter specializes in a certain style of combat. Some concentrate on archery, some on fighting with two weapons at once, and some on augmenting their martial skills with magic. This combination of broad general ability and extensive specialization makes fighters superior combatants on battlefields and dungeons alike. Not every member of the City Watch, the Village Militia, or the Queen's Army is a fighter. Most of these troops are relatively untrained soldiers with only the most basic combat knowledge. Veteran soldiers, military officers, trained bodyguards, dedicated knights, and similar figures are fighters. Some fighters feel drawn to use their training as adventurers. The dungeon delving, monster slaying, and other dangerous work common among adventurers is second nature for a fighter, not all that different from the life he or she left behind. There are greater risks, perhaps, but also much greater rewards. Few fighters in the City Watch have the opportunity to discover a magic flame tongue sword, for example. At first level, you get your fighting style. You adopt a particular style of fighting as your specialty. Choose one of the following options. You can't take a fighting style option more than once, even if you later get to choose again. Archery. You gain a +2 bonus to attack rolls you make with ranged weapons. Defense. While you're wearing armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC. Dueling. When you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. Great weapon fighting. When you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die for an attack you make with a melee weapon that you are wielding with two hands, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll, even if the new roll is a 1 or a 2. The weapon must have the two-handed or versatile property for you to gain this benefit. Protection. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. You must be wielding a shield. Two-weapon fighting. When you engage in two-weapon fighting, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack. Blind fighting. You have blind sight with a range of 10 feet. Within that range, you can effectively see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you're blinded or in darkness. Moreover, you can see an invisible creature within that range, unless the creature successfully hides from you. Interception. When a creature you can see hits a target other than you within 5 feet of you with an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage the target takes by 1d10 plus your proficiency bonus to a minimum of 0 damage. You must be wielding a shield or a simple or martial weapon to use this reaction. Superior technique. You learn one maneuver of your choice from among those available to the Battlemaster archetype. If a maneuver you use requires your target to make a saving throw to resist maneuver's effects, the saving throw DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength or dexterity modifier, your choice. You gain one superiority die, which is a d6. This die is added to any superiority dice you have from any other source. This die is used to fuel your maneuvers. A superiority die is expended when you use it. You regain your expended superiority dice when you finish a short or long rest. Thrown weapon fighting. You can draw a weapon that has the thrown property as a part of the attack you make with the weapon. In addition, when you hit with a ranged attack using a thrown weapon, you gain a +2 bonus to the damage roll. Unarmed fighting. Your unarmed strikes can deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d6 plus your strength modifier on a hit. If you aren't wielding any weapons or a shield when you make the attack roll, the d6 becomes a d8. At the start of each of your turns, you can deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage to one creature grappled by you. At second level, you get Second Wind. You have a limited well of stamina that you can draw on to protect yourself from harm. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. Additionally, at second level, you get Action Surge. You can push yourself beyond your normal limits for a moment. On your turn, you can take one additional action. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. Starting at 17th level, you can use it twice before a rest, but only once on the same turn. At third level, you choose your martial archetype. You choose an archetype that you strive to emulate in your combat styles and techniques. Some examples are Battle Master, Gunslinger, and Eldritch Knight. The archetype you choose grants you features at third level and again at 7th, 10th, 15th, and 18th level. At fourth level, you can make an ability score improvement. This also happens again at 6th, 8th, 12th, 14th, 16th, and 19th level. You can increase one ability score of your choice by 2, or you can increase 2 ability scores of your choice by 1. As normal, you can't increase any ability score above 20 using this feature. Using the optional feats rule, you can forego taking this feature and take a feat of your choice instead. At fourth level, you also get martial versatility. And just like ability score improvement, at each level where you can get that feature, you can do one of the following as you shift the focus of your martial practice. Replace a fighting style you know with another fighting style available to fighters. If you know any maneuvers from the Battlemaster archetype, you can replace one maneuver you know with a different maneuver. Beginning at 5th level, you gain extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. At 9th level, you get Indomitable. You can re-roll a saving throw that you fail. If you do so, you must use the new roll, and you can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. You can use this feature twice between long rests, starting at 13th level, and 3 times between long rests, starting at 17th level. At 11th level, you get extra attack again. This time, you can now attack 3 times instead of twice whenever you take the attack action on your turn. And finally, at 20th level, you get extra attack again. You can now attack 4 times instead of 3 whenever you take the attack action on your turn. This has been D&D Academia's episode all about the fighter class. I hope this gets you interested in trying the class for yourself. And As always, if you'd like to see anything get an Academia episode, mention it in the comments. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.